Hello, this is Nitin Dahad, and I'm here at Hardware Pioneers Max 2024 in London, and talking to Simon Ford, who's a co-founder and CEO of Bleakon, which is a new company launching today here at the show, and we're going to hear a little bit about what they do. Simon, hello.
Hello, great to be speaking to you, Nitin.
So, Simon, you're a startup. Just tell me a little bit of background before we go into what Bleakon does.
Oh, sure. So, my background's in electronics, computer architecture, so I spent a lot of time at ARM. I was quite involved in the Neon architecture, which was the sort of first smartphone architecture, and then moved down to Cortex-M, which was when we were going into the microcontroller space, convincing the world that actually 8 bits wasn't going to be enough, and 32-bit micros were going to be a thing. So I built what became Mbed, which is a microcontroller platform. Spent a lot of time learning about how developers operate and the sort of problems they're trying to solve. And time and time again, we saw people trying to use Bluetooth for backhaul connectivity, for IoT connectivity, even though that's not quite what it was designed for. And that sort of was the impetus of the company, yeah.
No, I didn't realize people are trying to do that. I mean, is that because it's more effective or just because it's more widespread?
Well, it's interesting, yeah. I mean, technically, it wouldn't be the obvious thing, right? If you looked at how to design the perfect radio or something, you wouldn't choose that. But Bluetooth got a free ride in mobile phones, Bluetooth Low Energy specifically. So it's global. It's amazing economies of scale, super low power. That's what it was designed for. So although it was used originally in this sort of personal use case, because of those economies of scale, because of the prevalence of the chips, because of the ecosystem, because it can work globally, people want to use it for this low power backhaul, a classical IoT connectivity technology.
All right. What is it exactly doing? It's providing a connectivity and you're providing that managed service, or you're providing the whole solution?
Exactly, yeah. So a lot of companies, they're trying to use the Bluetooth low energy chips to connect to their back-end services, and we're basically building that infrastructure, that network service that they can use. It's sold as a network service, they build it into their products, and we solve all that problem. And I guess one of the unique things about Bluetooth, beyond the cost of the chips and things like that, is Bluetooth is built into so many products that can act as the cell towers. We provide apps to enable phones and laptops, scanners that can actually act as the cell towers, as well as physical gateways. So it's a really interesting way to be able to deploy coverage for the applications that people are trying to build.
All right. So step back one. How do I engage as a customer? What am I doing with you?
Right, yeah. So generally our customers are building a product themselves. That's who we engage with. It's B2B company. We have technology that's available to build into their products. That today is what we're making available, so people can go to our website, get access to the Bleakon modem technology to put into their product. That enables it to talk to the network. So
that comes as a module that they implement in there, like a SOM?
So we actually provide it as firmware, and they can put it onto, initially Nordic-based SoCs. So there's a huge ecosystem of Nordic-based silicon and modules. We can just enable them, and loads of customers are already using those chips, so it's just drop-in firmware basically. And then the hotspots and the network technology, you set up as a company, you set up a network and plug it into your back end.
So the commissioning, how's that done?
Interesting one, yeah. So classically when people think of Bluetooth, they think of pairing, and that's rooted in that very personal relationship that Bluetooth grew up in. But of course that means in a classic IoT connectivity scenario, that's not really what you want. You can't scale it. So that's one of the problems we've solved. So a Bleakon device, so a Bleakon modem, can actually connect through any hotspot that is in its locality back to base, like you would with a cellular technology. So it can actually roam between different hotspots. The security is actually between the device itself and the cloud backend, meaning that you don't have to deal with pairing, which for deployment and for user experience is amazing.
So the deployment is done through your managed service?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So as long as the device has been associated with your network that you've set up, it can connect through any route without pairing, and that gives you loads of interesting scenarios in terms of deployment, especially as not only the devices can move around, but the hotspots can move around. So you've got some really interesting ways to deploy effective coverage over large areas, even if it is just someone walking around the warehouse with a device.
You've been going for 3 years.
Well, we've been building. I would say the last 2 years have been really building with early customers, trying to understand, how to package, build the technology, but also how to package it so they can get access to it. We think we've, really worked out how to do that now. So today is the first time we're going to be making it sort of generally available, and the next year or so, obviously, is going to be really tuning that as we work with more and more early customers. Yeah.
So when you say making it available, it's via website, so it's kind of a SaaS model, I guess?
Exactly, yeah. So from today, you can sign up on our website to get access and create yourself a network, and you can go and download a firmware image for a Nordic chip and just enable it. But obviously, a lot of these projects are relatively in depth, and customers want to understand. So usually people will give us a ring. We'll set up a technical call, and we can go through their project and understand how we can help them out.
So what's the next step for you now?
So now the product's out there, it's really exciting to be able to teach people about the capabilities, because I think Bluetooth is actually an amazing brand. Like, everyone knows it, but few people know what it's capable of. They think of it as something to connect their headphones, or it's frustrating to pair or whatever. So actually the next 6 months is going to be talking about the product we've got, helping people understand the capabilities, but also, to be honest, engaging with lots of companies who are already doing this. Whilst there's a lot of people who don't know the capabilities of Bluetooth, there's a lot of companies that do, and they're trying to build this in-house at the moment. So it's going to be working with them, helping them use our technology rather than having to build it themselves.
And just to get perspective, I mean, you're a small company, but your co-founders are, pedigree from AWS and Microsoft. So basically, you're packaging all of that experience together, I guess.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's the fun of productization, in my opinion. So we're definitely not a consultancy. What we're doing is taking that knowledge, from ARM, from Microsoft, from AWS, and really trying to package that into a product that people can very simply adopt. And that means actually, although there's the technical features of the product, we've actually spent a lot of time on how the product is integrated. So how a customer can efficiently take our product and integrate it into their product to solve the problem. I think that's that in itself is a real product challenge, and something that I'm really excited that I think we've done a really good job of, hopefully.
And on the business side, on the company side, you've raised investment, VC investment, seed investment.
So for the first part of building this, we were bootstrapping, working with early customers, and when we saw it was really working, it was time to raise some money. So we're not talking about that at the moment, but we're really proud that we raised that money in the UK from London. And this is going to be a global company, but we're really proud that we're building it in the UK, in Cambridge initially. But one of the joys of Bluetooth is it works globally. So someone building a product using Beacon, they can ship it worldwide. You can imagine for warehousing, supply chain, deployment, the advantage of having a single SKU is amazing. So as a company, although we're very happy with being based in the UK, and we will obviously be employing more people in the UK, from the start we're building it as a global company. So that's quite exciting in itself. Yeah.
Simon, thank you very much.
That was great to talk to you. Thanks very much.